What's going on, everybody? So as All Eyes on Me hits theaters this weekend, 50 Cent got to see it early and he's disgusted with it. Before we get into the reasoning behind why you should probably take 50 Cent seriously, let's just understand one thing. Tupac was a transcendent person. He was something that I don't think that you can, unless you really involve the people that were around him, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that you could really give off what he was. It's sort of like the Steve Jobs movie. They keep making different variations of it. They had Ashton Kutcher, then they had the other guy for the last one. When somebody is so impactful and so iconic and you didn't really know everything about him, the only way to try to get that feeling off to the masses is by getting people closer around them. I think they made that mistake also with Notorious about Biggie Smalls. They didn't really get a lot of the feedback from a lot of the individuals that were actually around him. That's the only way that you could really make good films about people that were so iconic. Even with the Aaliyah movie, it was total garbage. People don't seem to understand though. What Tupac was more than just a rapper, an actor. He was a movement by himself. So it's gonna be hard to give that off if you're just trying to make it all Hollywood. And that's pretty much what most of the reviews that have come out about people that were alive around his time, it's very, very negative. Now, for the younger individuals who are going to be going to see it, which is why it opened up at like $33 million or something like that, it's doing pretty well because people are really curious to find out any kind of information they can about Tupac. All the new generation knows is that this dude is dead and he's still putting out albums. That's pretty much all everybody knows. Guys like 50 Cent was coming up, but they weren't really relevant at that time when Tupac was really on the grind. You know what I'm saying? So it's not something to where we can take what 50 Cent is saying lightly because he was around. He got to see the things that was going down with all the alleged shooting, the Biggie Smalls thing, him having sex with Faith Evans, Jada Pinkett Smith. All these things we were able to actually see while it was happening. So just like it is usually when Hollywood gets involved, you may get something good, you may get something bad. It's very few movies that you can leave a theater after watching and seeing something that you lived through and be happy about it. Because sometimes they don't give you what it is. And everybody, like I said, most people that are real hip hop dudes that, like I used to really be into hip hop around that era with Biggie and Tupac. As of now, it's a lot of mumble rap, a lot of garbage. I'm not really inclined with it, so it's not the same focus for me. But I was able to see a lot of the things that went on with Tupac. He went to jail, came out, went to LA. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't even really understand what this man's life was about and what he was trying to do and how strong he could have been if he could have really pulled back a lot of the he was so inclined on making that movement happen that I don't think he really foresaw what the outcome would be initially and what the people that were around him would be trying to do. Even though he rapped about it and he knew that all these dudes were snakes, I don't think he really put it into place, the dudes that were really trying to do whatever, you know what I'm saying? If you look at the way that, he died and stuff like that, Suge not being in the car, like it was just really, really crazy if you just look at the whole situation. So, coming off of that whole premise of what Tupac was, if you listen to his music, there's no fakeness in his music. He's authentic. He's giving you what he was. He's giving you his life. His mom being a crackhead. May she rest in peace. Afeni Shakur, she recently passed away. And they're still investigating that as well. All I'm saying is this. People have to understand that you're not going to get what this man's life was and what it meant to people of color. You can't really understand that because he was just a lot of the things that he came off with, thug life and the hate you give little infants, fucks everybody. Like a lot of meaning behind what he was, people still don't understand. You just look at him as a man that was crazy and he was a thug. And pretty much, that's the whole premise he was trying to get over. But his message wasn't being delivered in the fashion where people were willing to accept it at the time. But then when you listen to his music now, it's like, okay, I can understand what he meant by that. I can understand what he meant by that. He was far ahead of his time. If you put Tupac's albums up against most or probably all of the albums that are out right now, you would probably say he's still one of the top rappers. He would still actively be selling the same way. That's how transcendent he was. The same thing with Biggie Smalls. I'm pretty sure right now you guys can recite Biggie Smalls songs from way back and it's still hotter than a lot of the things you hear today. is just very, very difficult. And like I said, I gotta go with 50 Cent on this. Because 50 Cent, the one thing about him, like, if he don't like you, he don't like you, and he gonna go hard and stuff like that. But for most of the things that he says when it comes to this rap game and legends and things like that, he doesn't hold back with his honesty. And he lets you know exactly what's going on. So if he's saying that you might as well wait for it on the Amazon Fire Stick, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, you might just have to wait and get it on the Fire Stick, dog, because it's pretty much not going to be what you're looking for. If you knew what he was, if you're just a person that wants to find out some information, there are parts of the movie that, you know, obviously are going to be, you know, it's going to correlate to his real life. But if you're looking for something impactful, I guess this is not what it was. I guess this, you know, they tried to put something out, you know, around June 16th is his birthday. They tried to give something, you know, make it come out, everything to try to like line up to the right thing. And it's still being viewed, but people that were around during his time or involved within his life are very, very disappointed. So I want to know, have you seen it already? What do you think about 50 Cent saying this? Let me know what you're thinking about it. Get at me at G Myers World on Twitter. Like me on Facebook at G Myers World, Instagram G Myers World.